Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video from Overwhite Gaming. I'm the Majestic Snare, and that is still under discussion, but some say is Lee.
Answers on a postcard if you know what I am.
Please don't. I'm scared to know what he actually is, to be fair.
I'm a groomer.
Oh God, please no. That's not what we want to have on the video.
Well, I'm jealous of people's hair.
Oh, right, okay, gotcha. Well, don't touch me. So today we wanted to talk about something that's popped up in the news recently of Sony kind of maybe releasing their PS5 console this year. So we thought it'd be a nice time to sit down, well, stand up, and talk about consoles and the future of consoles and where we see it going. So what do you think, Lee?
I think consoles are going to continue to be iterative.
Okay.
I think each release will be essentially the same. I think it will just become a little bit more powerful, a little bit more like the current level of PCs, in an effort so we don't drag down game development like we saw like in the PS2 era.
Yeah, well, I actually think consoles will always have a place and they'll always be around. How they actually get the games to the players, I don't know if that will change, because we've obviously seen drives recently for digital content over physical content, but we know we've never actually owned games when we were playing in consoles.
No.
Because you've just been owning the license to play it on that particular piece of hardware.
Yeah, you've never owned a game. Even if you've got the DVD, that's just the delivery method that the company's using to give you the game, and you're still leasing the game if you will.
Yeah, so this kind of discussion was born out of the fact that there's a company called Semi Accurate, I think.
That could be semi-accurate,
yeah. But there's a company that's basically called out recent developments in consoles, and they kind of got it right most of the time. To do with the Switch and the PS4. They were the ones to call out the fact that the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X was actually going to be a thing, and they've called out the fact that the PS5 could land this year. A lot of people saying nah, never, but we saw that with other things that kind of popped out of nowhere, like Fallout 4.
Yeah, but I mean, a game is obviously significantly different from a console.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when you make a console, you're not just liaising with one studio. You've got to source all that tech from different people. Like, the rumour is the PS4 is going to have a lot of AMD hardware in it.
Yeah, and you're going to have a lot of developers needing to know how to code for it, so keeping that under wraps is going to be difficult.
And not to mention the ability to get that hardware. If you look at the Switch, I think it was, which suffered really badly because they had shortages of flash RAM.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if that's what it's called, but you know, the little card things.
Yeah, solid state drive type stuff.
Solid state RAM, yeah.
Yeah. So I think for the future consoles, if you take it a bit further than what we have just learnt about this speculative rumour, is the fact that you've got, you know, where is the place of console gaming in the future? Certainly, is it going to be driven down a VR path and maybe like more integration with other tech, or is it going to be something that's going to split off into purist of having your kind of console with controller and other kind of things, a bit like the Wii tried.
Yeah.
Nintendo Wii tried to have a kind of a motion aspect, and that was kind of new and
Well, you had a second screen experience with the Wii U.
yes, which nobody really had because no one bought one.
No, didn't buy that.
But let's be honest, the Switch has taken off by storm.
The Switch has been proven massively popular, and
Yeah.
I still play mine. I didn't put it on the shelf like I thought I would, so...
I've seen a few people pick up the Switch and really enjoy their time with it. So I think it's just going to be an exciting time for you to be involved in consoles. I mean, I've been referred to as a console peasant when we started this channel 3 years ago, and I play more stuff on PC now, primarily because it's easy to capture stuff for gaming videos. But certainly my time with a console is always something I like to go back to because it's a pick up and play. There's no worry as much with a game that I won't be able to play it in the future. That still goes along the lines of our previous videos of game servers getting shut down and all kinds of stuff like that.
I mean, it has happened, and it will continue to happen. I mean, as consoles become more PC-like, which they definitely are. In fact, the operating system and all the hardware is virtually identical to what you would find in a couple-year-old PC right now.
Yeah, but that's always been the case, isn't it?
Not really, because you had, back in the time where you had like Sony developing the Cell processor, making their own processors exclusively for their consoles.
Yeah, but that didn't really work out that well, did it?
Well, it was difficult to program for, but it was actually quite a powerful bit of kit
at the time. Yeah, but it's pointless having got the power if you haven't got a steering wheel.
It's very prosaic.
It is, isn't it?
Thank you.
But yeah, I've always loved consoles. My first experience of gaming, I think, when I was really young, was like on a Spectrum, which is, I suppose you could class as a computer rather than any kind of console.
Yeah, that was
it had a
different.
fucking keyboard. So, but I remember my first console being a Master System, Sega Master System.
Atari 2600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had one of those Pong machines as well, but I didn't count that.
No, that's a Pong machine, not a console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember having loads of fun with that first console. It was like my thing. I had my games and had good times with it. But I think in the future, it's the push to be connected to everything and everyone is the part that it blurs the lines, I think, between that experience you have with a console. It's like you're playing one-player games. You might have friends around for a bit of co-op on the same screen type age. And now it's a hugely, massively multiplayer online kind of forum for most games. And the cookie cutter approach to games means that consoles have that console parity thing.
Yeah, which sickens us PC people.
Yeah, it does create some problems, but you're going to have a lot of people trying to do that and make money from it rather than treat it like art.
Yeah,
to get too poncy with it.
I think going forward, what we'll see on consoles is much like what's happening on PCs. I mean, if you go to a game store and you look at the games there, you will find very few PC games there. I think it's going to become more and more digital, but they need to sweat out their fucking pricing because
yeah, absolutely.
The Xbox store, the PlayStation store, well overpriced. I remember a few years ago I looked at a Need for Speed game and it was £70 when I could go and get it for like $35 in the store.
Yeah, the pricing is a crazy thing. Converting dollars to pounds and one for one, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Absolutely not. It's like you wouldn't go and like say, "Oh, well, I'm going to pay £1 for a McDonald's cheeseburger," and then like
you're paying €1 for the same.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous.
So I mean, pricing and distribution has to be worked out, and I think it's getting better over the years. I much prefer using the PlayStation Store now than I did on the PS3 necessarily.
It's a little bit better now, I think,
but they do push their kind of programs and membership models a bit more. So there's a give and take, and I think consoles at the end of the day they are a product, right? They're not fully a service. So people, the whole debate about games not being games but being live services, take that to one side for a second. With consoles, you are buying a thing. Okay.
Yeah. Well, for how long though? I mean, it's often been said that consoles are going to get replaced with just a little tiny box that just streams your games.
Well, that's the PlayStation Now thing, isn't it?
It's the PlayStation Now thing, but I mean, would they be able to do that with like current games? Would they be able to push that much data?
I reckon in time, yes, but not right now.
No.
Not right now. I think with consoles at the moment, you're left with something. The service part is the game, the product is the console. Is it too soon to be having a new one like PlayStation 5? And the biggest question is, what the hell are you going to call the next Xbox?
Yeah, because that is like
Xbox One X, One 2. I don't know what the fuck they're going to call it.
Xbox Y.
Just Y. Xbox Y. Because I gotta. Doesn't work without the party line. Never mind. But that's some kind of thoughts on consoles. A quick question to you guys is, what do you think about PS5? Would you be interested in buying it? And do you think that consoles are a dead horse? Don't bother with them. PC only. We want to hear your thoughts.
I think going forward, consoles are going to become more and more PC-like anyway. You may even end up with ones where you can have like modules which you hotspot, like you would with graphics cards with PCs. And
that would be a PC, wouldn't it?
It's already a PC. It's just a PC in a sealed box. I mean, you can already exchange the hard drives.
That's true. Yeah.
So what's to stop us exchanging graphics cards and doing that? It's just going to become more and more PC-like. We're going to get more and more digital games rather than physical games, and at the end of the day, that's a good thing. Because the less of that console you have to swap, instead of buying a whole new unit every time it brings one out, the cheaper it's going to be for you, and you can stay up to date with the games. What they do need to introduce is the ability to tweak your settings in games much more expansively than they've done now.
Yeah.
I mean, because they've got the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation Pro, the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, with these two levels of power on each one, they've just said, okay, it runs like this on this one, it runs like this on that one. You should be able to tweak that yourself. If you want a graphic fidelity on your base model and would take the frame rate loss, that's fine, you can do that. Or if you wanted to crank it down and have a smoother frame rate, you could do that too.
There's pros and cons, I think, for being able to do that, but it's an element that you see bits of, don't you? In terms of settings, you see bits. You don't see full-on PC level settings.
No, I mean, yeah, but I mean, those are the days where you just sort of stretch it to your screen size, you know, and that was it. Oh, and your brightness maybe.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all I want.
No, what I'm saying is, like, you've got these options. They're just being predetermined for you at the moment by the developer. Whereas if they just gave you those options to tweak with what you want, you'd be good.
In another way, though, you have no excuse, do you, for a game performing badly on a console?
Well, you do if you're coding it for two different sets of hardware.
In the sense that you are dealing with one set of settings, if you can't make it work with that and you release it, fucking shame on you.
What happens?
It happens, but shame on you. You fucking know if you're not one of those people that has released a game that doesn't work properly on a fucking console.
Yeah, you'll be watching this video, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. But guys, that's our thoughts on consoles. Have you got anything else to add on consoles?
Not really.
Good. Excellent. Moving on. So guys, don't forget we have content coming out every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So come back and check then for some more awesome videos.
And if you did like the video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, you think we're a pair of twats, give us a thumbs down, whatever you want. And also, if you did like it, consider subscribing down below. And if you subscribe, make sure you ring the bell.
And then it goes ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling, my little ding-a-ling.
It doesn't actually do that, it just turns like a different colour.
Oh.
But if you do that, you'll get notifications when we do release our videos.
Yes, awesome. So guys, take care of yourselves.
Take it easy, guys.
See ya. Bye.